Hello and welcome everybody back to the Dumbass class with me, the Dyslexic Gamer, as we carry on our Rogue Trader tabletop RPG series with my players as always. Well, actually, we're missing one. There we go. Now we have to. Oh no, we're still missing one. That's why. They'll be in soon. So, what happened last time? Well, I fucked up with the audio, so you're not going to hear anyone else in the last episode, but you will hear lots of me. Whereas this episode, you're going to hear everyone, which is glorious. So in the last episode, we had a little bit of a Dr. Stone moment as our tech priest rebuilt the forge and the smelter within the town of Izmir. Our players found out that, holy shit, there's actually another 2 people in Izmir who are decent and not from around here. They also found out that the ecclesiarchy is somewhere off to the west. Yes, the west. As the blacksmith and the miner are actually from a settlement very close to that point. As I believe it was the smithy has a hit flask that has the eye of the ecclesiarchy. Yes, not the inquisitorial eye. For some reason, GW were like, everyone should have an eye. Good reason. Doesn't make it confusing.
If you want,
everyone should have 2 eyes at the minimum.
If you want a good descriptor for the differentiating them, I actually found this out recently. Instead of calling it the Gothic eye for the Inquisition, called it the thrice bound. That's thrice bound eye, because there's the 3 little lines in the middle specifically for the Inquisition.
Yep, no, I have heard of it being described as that long ago. You have just reminded me. I believe the ecclesiarchal eye is the squiggly one. I might be wrong. I think it's the squiggly one.
The administratum has like that weird A in the middle.
Yeah. And then I believe the navigators also have one. The astropaths have one. GW was like, yes, we like this symbol. We're going to use it for everyone. Not confusing at all. But yes, the group finally have some decent tools that could be used. They got a little bit of information about where another faction is. Our Psyker still has 1 of her herd beasts under her control. She has mind broken it, much like well, no, we won't go into. Yeah, why not? Much like a good hentai, a good revenge hentai. Mind broken is now her slave. For as long as she continues to, maintain the mind break control. As well as, was there anything else that happened last time? But
I resent that comparison.
You sold a herd beast as well. Yeah, you sold a herd beast as well. So you probably don't want to let that thing off your control, as it's just watched multiple of its kin get slaughtered. But hey ho. With the tools, with some other useful minerals that have been collected, I believe our group was more than prepared to head back to the Archaeotech facility that they had found a few days ago, to attempt to do some repairs and get it up and running. The degenerate is still out for the count as she is healing. I will have another look at the rules. I know I looked at it last time. I can't remember if it's a week she needs to be. Yeah, it's a week. Never mind, it is a week. So, she's going to be out for a little bit longer. But as far as I can remember, the plan was to load her up onto the herd beast, along with any other goods that you wanted to take with you, and to head back to that facility. Unless there was anything else you guys wanted to do in Izmir, we will jump to the 20th. Wait, hang on. Oh no, technically, you finished at about 10 AM on the 19th. So if you'd like, you can head out now, or if there was something else you wanted to do in Izmir, I don't think there was. We can jump over to the map screen. I can't remember you guys needing to do anything else at Izmir. So you gather up the degenerate and your belongings, and you head over to the Archaeotech facility. Now, it's only going to take you a couple of hours, so by the time you get there, it will be about 12 o'clock, about midday. As you reach the area, it doesn't look like anything's being disturbed. It looks like this area has been pretty much left as it was. So as you'll see, you can park your herd beast outside, as it doesn't seem to want to go into the cave. You can force it if you wish, but otherwise you can just leave it outside.
I guess I'll leave it outside for now. Probably shouldn't spend the night out there.
If we leave the bees outside, no, we might get those blood-sucking spiders again.
Oh no, they so the creatures, the walking earthworms, from what you've noticed, at the very least, they seem to be like cleaners. They appear when there's a large amount of blood in the area, or they head towards areas of large quantities of blood. So as long as the degenerate doesn't wake up and decide, I'm going to hack it to pieces out here, you should be fine. And no, she's not riding the patient on the bed. She is the patient on the bed. Before any of you mention that.
I mean, I wasn't going to say anything, but now that you mention it.
Don't make me remove it. I can. So yes, you laid the degenerate down on the Archaeotech. What you think is a Medicae bed, or a very high-tech operating bed. Yeah, it's powered off, so it should be fine.
Oh, the circus. For all I know, it might even be an auto-dissecting table. Or vivisecting table.
Probably another one of those hats.
Hats.
Yeah, the exploding ones.
Oh.
The realization kicking in, like.
I was thinking in the line of the remote hats, to be honest.
I haven't played it. Regardless, Magic Man, do your thing. Wait, no. Medical Man, do your thing.
It's not Magic Man, it's Cockboy.
Well, to a savage, it's magic.
Any techno.
So, yeah, as you come back into the facility, you have to light torches again. I'm not going to make you do anything, as these are story time torches. You have to light a few, so it's not the greatest light down here, but more than enough for you to work by. What would you like to start on, Ray? Just as a reminder, the Archaeotech generator needs enough power to start the reaction again. You've already filled it with water, so it's an Archaeotech hydrogen reactor. It's already filled with water. That's quite simple. You just need the spark to get the generator working.
I would start with opening up the shock button.
Yep, you can, because you did so well last time, you're easily able to, and you know that it's a little bit corroded in there, so you give it a little wiggle, and it takes a moment or two, but you easily slide it all out. And let's say you sit down on the floor, you know, do a little ritual incantation, open it up on the floor.
Basically me just chanting the schematics, I imagine.
Pretty much. So give me a perception test. I believe last time you got a single digit for your roll. I did mark it down somewhere, but I lost it. I know you got a really good roll with your quick look. So give me a perception roll with a plus 60, because it was a really, really good roll last time.
Just flat perception?
No, with plus 60.
No, I meant not the awareness.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Oh, sorry, awareness. For some reason, I often switch between D&D and Dark Heresy. Yeah, awareness plus 60. Whoa, okay, you needed that. So with 2 degrees, it's technically a 98, which is in the region for failure, but you got 2 degrees of success. You did pass. So as you take the device apart, you take a much more detailed look at the battery, and there is corrosion around it. But as you let's say on your travels, you grabbed a few very small, like reed-like grasses. You're able, you know, to brush away the corrosion that's on there. It doesn't appear to be on the battery. It looks like it's on the sides of the parts that connect the plus and minus part to the battery. So you clean those areas off and you blow away the corrosion. And you can see that actually 3 of the wires have burnt out. Like the ends have literally got so hot that they're no longer connected to the battery. So you're a mechanicus. You attach your data probe to the battery, and you can see the battery still holds a charge. It's minimal, because obviously it's been sat in the dirt for quite some time, but it still is holding a charge. You look a little bit further along and you can see the parts that would connect the battery to the actual shock part of the device has burnt out. You would need to rebuild those components yourself or replace them with a more primitive. But the battery seems to be good. It'd be too simple for you to just take the battery out. Like, I don't think you'd need to do a roll for it. So you slowly start, you know, you take your new screwdriver and you unscrew some of the screws. You remove the battery and you're like, okay, right. This battery should hold X amount of charge, because, you know, these shock batons, yeah, they don't really have a number of times you can shock someone with it. But realistically, it should be about 3 times the charge that a las pack could hold. Okay, right, well, I'm going to stick that in my charging pocket, and I think you can charge a las pack per day without taking fatigue. So you're going to have to give me a toughness test if you want to charge this up to full in 1 day. Yes, the charging pocket. Don't ask where it is.
Probably somewhere in my the region between your arm, where your arm slots into your shoulder.
Oh, your armpit. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yes, there, definitely.
Could have been so much worse, people. Could have been so much worse. If I was playing, it would have been worse. So sure.
I mean,
you
it's
bring
one of the most stinky and sweaty places. So
you bring forth, and it does kind of make sense, because most of your cybernetics are going to be in your chest. So you reveal the charging point, and you bring forth the electrodes, and you attach it and put it in the pocket bit, and it just sits there. So yeah, you can either take 3 days to fully charge it, or you can give me a toughness test, which I believe is flat, because you don't have the actual upgraded proton coils or photon coils. So I believe it's just toughness flat. So you've charged it once. Give me a toughness at flat to give it another charge. Okay, so you feel a little bit drained, like a little bit of fatigue. You feel a little bit fatigued, but you don't actually take any fatigue. Give me another one flat, and that will be it fully charged. Okay, mark down that you've got one fatigue. As you pump the last of your power reserves in there, as your bioreactors start charging again, but oh wow, you're a little bit lightheaded, and you've given too much of your own precious spark to this piece of technology.
I don't suppose I can give the first attempt.
No, it's fully charged now. You only take fatigue.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the only negative for doing this. You just take fatigue. For something of this level.
I understood it. That. No, never mind. Charged.
So the battery is fully charged now. The only
You
thing...
could re-roll.
Oh no, that is true.
Nah, I've got 4 fatigue threshold. I think I can soak a fatigue.
Yeah, but you'll get a -10 to every test you do now.
Isn't that only after it is?
No, I believe that's Dark Heresy. Dark Heresy? Yeah, I believe that's Dark Heresy. For 1 level of fatigue, it's -10. For 2 levels, it's -20, and it goes like that in Rogue Trader, I believe.
No, as long as you have 1 fatigue, you get a -10 to every test you do.
And it scales upwards, doesn't it? Until you reach your max.
No, it doesn't. I think it's just -10 to everything. As long as you have any fatigue.
Ah, okay. Thank you very much.
I'm looking at the rulebook.
No, I mean that's not. I know you definitely get a -10 for the first level. I thought it scaled upwards until you went unconscious, but for now you've only got 1 level, so it's quite all right. As you look at the Archaeotech generator, you do realize that okay, this isn't a standard. Like you can't just slot the battery in. So you're going to have to give me a tech use test as you try and use parts of the shock baton, and you are going to have to use a little bit of yourself here to connect. Like you're going to be the wire that connects the 2 pieces. Yeah. So if you give me a tech use test, this isn't too difficult because again, Archaeotech, human Archaeotech at the very least, does have a lot of many similarities between the tech that you use now. You've just got to do a couple of tweaks. So if you give me a tech use with a +20, to just move some bits around. Ah, marvelous. Okay, so you connect up your essentially you have like a data probe within your hand or on your body somewhere. So you look at where the original battery for the generator would be, which is drained, and you're like, right, okay, so if I connect this bit here and this bit there, and then if I use my augmetics here, like, right, okay, do your prayers to the Omnisire. Like, right, this should work. You want to attempt to kickstart the generator?
Aye.
Okay. You're like, right, say a prayer to the Omnisire one last time. You praise the hallowed spark. and the motive force. Let this work. Give me a toughness test. With a... Oh, that's a good point. Does this sheet imply the -10? Your fatigue.
Let me check. It does not.
Okay, so technically you have failed that by 0.2.
No. I did. I
Oh,
entered
you did.
+10.
Oh, okay, you did. Cool. Okay, I wasn't sure if the sheet took that into... The sheet's so fucking good, I sometimes have to be like, hang on. Normally I'd tell people, but does it do... Okay, cool. So, you do succeed. And you're like, right. Go. So, can I get a toughness test? There will be a +20, -10, so a +10 overall. Would you like to re-roll that?
I suppose I should.
Come on, Omnisire. Hey, there we go. Much better. So I was going to say, for every degree of failure is 1d10 damage. That's why I was like, please re-roll. Please re-roll.
Armor does not.
It wouldn't be armor, would be toughness. But where you've succeeded with 2 degrees, 2 degrees? I think it's 2. Yeah, with 2 degrees, you're fine. You feel the energy shoot through your entire being. However, you're so used to having electrical force move through you, it seems to just be unusual. It's almost like the generator, once you connected everything, wanted to drain not just the battery of power, excuse me, not just the battery of power, it seemed to want to drain your own internal batteries as well. But you're able to shut it off just in time, and you hear this as the generator kicks into life. Suddenly there's lights that come on, not throughout the whole place, because parts of the ceiling have caved in, but you just see, and they're not looming strips either. It looks have kind of lights like this, where in our day and age, where it looks like a tiled ceiling, but tiles start lighting up and start flooding the area with light. The generator is pumping out consistent power, and as you start running through the data
How
relays,
quick is the water reservoir draining?
The water's draining out extremely slow. It looks like it's using an electrolysis to take the hydrogen out of the water and then burning the hydrogen in the reactor to create power. So you can see the water is bubbling away. Extremely dangerous, but it's archaeotech. It should be fine.
I mean, it's not really, as long as you don't mix the hydrogen and oxygen and put a spark in there.
But it kind of is doing that.
Yes, but
it's just
not in the fuel tank.
No, not in the fuel tank. In the actual turbine combustion part. And as the lights come on, you would notice that of the 2 devices, the 3 devices here, and here, the one in the middle is the only one that seems to come to life. Certain lights and panels start lighting up. But then you also see and hear a flickering come over the cognite. As you look over, now that power's running through the device, now there wasn't a screen there before, and you kind of wondered yourself, well, how am I meant to view the data? Is it like an internal thing where I connect to the machine? But no, a holographic projector projects a screen above the machine. And it's currently saying it's initializing reboot.
Fancy. Let's see Gray standing in worship looking at the screen.
You would also hear coming from Kalindra's. Oh no, I moved it. Damn it. Hang on. I'll click on Kalindra. You also hear from where Kalindra is a number of like servos and devices coming online, and you suddenly hear a dee dee doot, dee dee doot, dee dee doot.
I go over.
The machine has reawoken, and much like the cognitate, the cognitate. Hang on, is it a cognitate? Yeah, it is a cognitate. A projected monitor has come up, and it's currently showing blood pressure, heartbeat, breaths per minute. There's a number of other areas where it's coming up with other information. I'll tell you now, if you were to connect yourselves as humans to the device, it would tell you your blood type, toxins within the blood, nutrients levels, if you're like malnourished or if you're not getting enough vitamin C, things like that. However, with Kalindra, it is coming up with data unknown, error. Species unknown, error.
We probably should have foreseen this.
Well, I was more expecting something to cut her on. And staple her together.
There are a number of options on the screen.
What are the options? Does any of those options consist of a stapler?
It does have surgical options on there.
Maybe it's wrong about Abby. Maybe this was fucking. Maybe this was Cray's assassination plan all along.
Maybe.
So it reads interior damage located, lacerations detected. It's not technically it's critical damage detected, but it would also say that subject is stable, but then it would also say error, data input required, unknown species. But then, Cray, you're going to have to give me a Medicaid test to actually understand what the hell this machine is saying.
How badly is Kalindra freaking out right now?
She's unconscious. Well, she's not. She's asleep.
Can I? How long do I need to sleep to get this toughness? To get unfatigued?
I thought you were about to ask there how I wake her up.
So I think.
I don't think I should operate.
You remove one fatigue per hour of rest.
Yeah, I was going to say you can. There's a meditation that you could do that removes fatigue, or it's literally have a nap for an hour.
I think I'll just shut myself off then for an hour. I'll be a responsible cockboy and do surgery in my optimal condition. She's stable anyway.
Sure, yeah, you can do that. So, I do need to ask, because I didn't check this. You can read Gothic, can't you, Cray?
Does Technolingua count?
With Tequilingua, I imagine you'll be able to you'll be able to understand some of the medical stuff that's coming up, like blood pressure and things like that, heart rate. You'll be able to put two and two together from using some.
Isn't that just binary?
Well, it is, but he also has Medicaid, so he'd be able to see like the heart rate and things like that. However, the machine is written in High Gothic. All the.
Do you need me to read it out for you?
That would be much appreciated.
Okay, the blind woman steps up to the screen and starts reading.
Would you like someone who's not blind to read it out to you instead?
Can psychers?
Can your psychic ability let you read lead a fucking screen?
Yes, I can read things.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes, I thought it was the case. I just wanted to verify.
Colin, Abby, or Heinrich, you would see that it is written in High Gothic. Hang on, I may have made a mistake. Now, High Gothic, we'll just go with it's High Gothic for the moment. I don't want to.
It would be
ruin
High
anything. It is written in High Gothic. There is a. You would see that there is a speech program, so you can. And it's odd because it's a holographic projector. You can actually touch buttons on it, and it reacts. There is a spoken, so it will read out what's wrong with the patient. Much like, so think of it as like a nurse. It can read out, heart rate is dropping, blood pressure has fallen. It can read out these sorts of things to you, if you wish. But yeah, it is technically all in High Gothic.
Just check when I can get High Gothic because I feel like I should get it. Anyway, so I say thank you for the options, but I'm quite drained right now, so I'll first take a quick nap.
Also, the cog boy is going to go and sit and meditate and power down for an hour or so.
As we're reading out the instructions, he goes, "Oh yeah, cool story, bro. I'm gonna go sleep for an hour."
I need a nap.
I would say.
Well, it's just an hour of normal rest, so you can still talk and move around and stuff. Just don't do anything straining.
So yeah, you can still walk around. I would say probably not doing skill tests would be a part of that. But yeah, I think that's a walk. Right, probably go sit in the corner and start. You could explain it. We're spending the next hour translating it and making sure we know what it is.
Sure. Yep. You can do that.
All he does is sit there and listen to us.
Heinrich and Abby. There's something really weird that you've just read.
Oh, no.
Under the operations tab. Huh. What's genetic manipulation?
What?
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Genetic manipulation protocols. Huh.
Can I see what the options are?
Yeah,
Yep,
does it say what it does?
It doesn't say what it does exactly. If you tap the basically the button, it gives you a list of procedures that need to be performed. As far as the archaeotech can understand, because again, Dark Elder genetics is not the same as human. But it does a list of procedures that need to be done. Now, it can't do the procedures on its own, but it can show you how to do them. You tap on so what is this genetic manipulation thing? And as you click on there, it says error DNA code unverified, data input required, genetic manipulation extremely hazardous to this subject.
I would interfere.
Oh, you go sit down over there.
And I say, as the medical officer of this group, don't touch her. And don't touch the bed either, or the screens. Don't touch the screens. We will not manipulate and make her a two-headed Eldar.
We could make her human.
We were just looking at the options. We weren't doing anything.
You can look at the options.
Although it would be funny if we could turn her into a fetid.
Oh no. Why would you say that?
Which is, I don't know, it's kind of what I'm thinking might be.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking it too.
So great, they're literally, as you're resting, they're just reading it off to you and going, okay, well this, and if they click on the options for surgical options, and it gives a rundown of, and they can read it out. Right, first things first, you must open up the wound. It appears as if Kalindra does have a small wound on the inside of her stomach. It seems as if the machine has detected an infection, basically, and it's saying that it's a minor infection, possibility chances of it spreading unknown, because the Eldar's immune system it doesn't know Eldar physiology. But Abby and Heinrich can read it out, and it basically says once the infection has been cleared, using, they're not quite sure how to pronounce this weird serum that it's suggesting, and you've never heard of a serum like it, or an antibiotic, basically. You're like, okay, don't know what the fuck that is. And it reads down, once antibiotics have been administered, ensure that bowel has been placed back into bowel cavity, ensure that the wound is clean, and stitch up, and so on and so forth. And then inject what was it called? It's basically saying that you can inject a serum to increase the natural.
I do have psychotic, I think. No, sorry.
No, it's a serum to increase your metabolic, your natural
Vitamin
metabolic
shot.
regeneration. So basically, it speeds up the body's healing ability. It's telling you to inject a Fallout 4 stim pack into her.
Right.
But you've had an hour of them reading through these things. You feel yourself like your bioreactor has filled your spark back up. You're feeling more alive. Again, Omnisire be praised. As you okay, right, let's have a look at this. What would you like to play with next?
I guess deal with infection. The options were kickstart metabolism or deal with infection, right?
Yeah, it's basically just giving you a detailed description on how to fix the patient with the data that it has. If you do click on, okay, administer antibiotics, it will tell you antibiotics have deteriorated and no longer usable.
Right.
You hear a very high-pitched screech
What else did you
in
expect?
binary.
Sadly, the expiration date has been reached.
Can't it make hits on its own?
Not without further biological matter to create drugs from. When you click on the serum, it says the antibiotic, and it says that it's out of date. It gives you a list of materials needed to manufacture said antibiotic. So technically you could go out and search for these items, but it's giving you the chemical name for each one. It does say that there is an input, so you can literally give this machine the ingredients and it will be able to manufacture certain drugs for you. But again, it's giving the chemical name, not like the plant or the animal that it comes from. So you would basically just need to randomly feed this machine things until it says, yes, this component has been found. Yes, this component has been found. Think of it as the Curie from Fallout 4. It can do shit, but you need to give it. Give it the
You've been playing
items.
Fallout 4 recently.
I've been playing a lot of the Fallout games, actually.
Been looking at the frontier. Can't wait till it's out. It looks bloody amazing.
It really does. It really does. I'm so angry that other people have got access to it already. And I'm like, no.
It's already up. Wait, it's on the Nexus.
Yeah, but it's not on Steam. The Steam page has not been updated yet.
Get
Not
up.
available.
Get up.
Oh, it's available on Nexus for everyone around. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, but I want to click on the
But
Steam
my
page.
download is fucked, so I can't download. Try now. Need to wait a couple of days. Anyway, Road Trader. So, guess it's on to what do I have on me?
So I believe you do have a suture needle, and you did basically like suture her wound up before. She hasn't actually got a ripped open stomach. She is in the process of healing, but the machine is just telling you, you know, that she has a minor infection. This, and this can be done to improve it. It's just unfortunately the machine doesn't have the ingredients in it. It's been a little bit useless in that respect.
What happens?
It's been sitting
Does
here.
it say how much it needs?
No, it doesn't actually give you. Well, I suppose if you actually go in, like you click on, okay, so what about this chemical that it's asking for? It'll give you the chemical name and it will tell you how much it needs per mix. So like 1 milligram of. I wish I was a chemist at this point, you know, diazepam or some shit, you know. It's giving you like the quantities it needs to make per batch, but you don't know exactly where to get these chemicals from.
Guess it's time. Did any of you pick something, some flowers up or something?
What do you think I am, a florist?
I don't think it'll work that easily. Like, unless we have something to analyze whatever we bring.
Oh no,
So,
it will. It will. You can literally go on to input organics basically, and you'll see that the side of the machine slides open, and there's a large drawer, and you can just put items in it. The drawer will close up. You hear the machine getting to work, and it will say chemical analysis complete. These chemicals are in that thing.
Okay.
So, for example, I'll help you out. Someone put a recaf bean in there.
All right.
The bean is inserted, and it will take a couple of moments. It will say chemical analysis complete. Vegetation ingredient 1, caffeine has been found and added to the machine, and a few nutrients have been taken out of the recaf bean. Unfortunately, well, I suppose caffeine. No, caffeine wouldn't be in it. So it informs you that it now has these chemicals within the machine, and they are still.
Is there mold on the walls of this base?
Is there a what on the wall?
Mold.
Mold.
No, I don't think there's.
Is
No,
there how do you call this? 1 second.
if you're thinking of the mold that you would get from. Shit, I can't remember the name of it now.
Penicillin?
Yeah. If you're thinking of that type of mold, yeah, you won't find that in here. Because
That's gonna be in bread or some shit.
Bread and gone off milk, I believe, produced the penicillin mold. Also, seem to remember like the Mongolians had some very, very basic form of. Like, didn't they piss on like not piss. It was like something from horses that created like basically a really, really, really crude penicillin.
Horse flowers, piss flowers.
Yeah, I believe it's something like that. But yeah, at the moment, I don't believe you have the chemicals
Is
to add
there
into
moss?
it. No,
Is
there's, this area is not wet. It's not damp and it's not flooded. It's actually quite dry and humid. Not humid. It's kind of warm down here because you are at least like you went into a cave and then underground even further. So the climate here is quite stable.
By the way, keep in mind that this is an Eldar, not a human. So her genetic makeup and how her physiology reacts to drugs might be completely fucking different.
Probably need 3 times the fucking dosage.
Yeah, just OD her. What
Oh.
could go wrong?
No, I
yeah,
only
or she might react, allergic and just fucking die.
Jim comes back. Yeah, dude, you died on the operating table. We're sorry.
you OD'd on painkillers. I don't know why you did it, but
You OD'd on mold. We just kept cramming it into you to see if you'd get better.
I mean, when I think about how many people react allergically to certain types of antibiotics,
yeah.
try giving that to an alien. Jesus fucking Christ.
Technically an alien that's based off of a fish. I believe Eldar are, their genetics are closer to like fish.
Isn't that the blueberries that are the fish people?
No, I believe it's Eldar who are genetically closer to aquatic beings.
Pretty damn sure that's Tara.
Yeah, I think.
Eldar are just like really lanky fucking humans.
No, I'm sure it's Eldar who are related to
the ones who
genetically.
created the orc also did something funky with the Eldars.
No, like
might
the
be.
old ones created the Eldar, and they're closer genetics to fish. I remember seeing it on Remley's, when he goes into the old ones and how the old ones created the different species. I think actually it's in the Xenos book, the one that describes that shows you that orcs are related to fungus, Eldar are related to fish.
Actually, mold is fungus. Can we just go out and inject orc into her?
Yes.
If you find one.
We had
try.
fucking orc blood. No, it wasn't orc blood.
No, you found a Big Knob's mech armor. Mega armor.
No.
Yeah, and a patch of green blood.
So for now, I'll tell you, there's nothing you can do for Clindra. She's on the table. It's giving you all of her readouts. Until you guys go out and grab fauna and flora and start investigating further what the machine can do, there's not much you'll be able to do for her. But technically, she is. Oh no, there is something you can do. So the machine says that she's technically slightly dehydrated. So you can put fluids into the machine. You can technically put sweat in there. I know it's disgusting, but sweat has salts in it.
Probably would just get a bucket of river water.
Yeah, you can literally go up to the river, fill your canteen, pour it into the machine. I suppose if you took some rocks from around here and again put it into the machine, it could extract the sodium from the rocks. Wouldn't be much in there, but it could make an IV for her. So she'd basically be at least have an IV and stay hydrated.
Oh my god, I went.
Actually, Muttermouth, would you know of any healing plants that grow in the area?
Not much grows here. Maybe in town, they have crude, dried seeds, many plants in forests.
We could use just about anything, really. Anything that is believed to help people with ailments or
I guess
heal
we
them.
could start debarking some trees, see what that gives.
I mean, literally, yeah, you can pretty much grab any mineral or anything where you could get chemicals from, and the machine is archaeotech. It can extract them. But I'm
Throw
just
some
telling.
copper ore into it.
If you want to put your copper ore into it, I don't know how much copper goes into. Oh, actually, hang on. You would get copper sulfate, wouldn't you? You had sulfates. Yeah, I would need to have a little Google under what chemicals you can get from what.
Hang on a second. Good Gray, after seeing that it can synthesize, does it allow you to make your custom medicine?
No, it won't. So technically, it will if you know the chemicals to add. It has a list of things that it can make, all the things that were previously programmed into the machine, and there is,
Well, I was more thinking of using it to create some C4.
No, it's a medical device. It will not create.
Well, if it can synthesize medicine, it could synthesize C4.
No, like
yes, technically.
So here's the thing.
Compounds.
I'm stopping this right here. It's a medical device. You are not making explosives from a medical device unless you fuck the device up and actually ruin it. Like, you can get the chemical components from it, that's fine, but it's not going to make C4 because it's an archaeotech healing device. Is not meant to make explosives. Like, that's why I'm cutting it off. You would have to break the machine and its internal. Because what kind of mad scientist is going to pump C4 into someone?
Humans.
No.
Well, I mean, you could go into a hospital and with the chemicals there make dynamite.
Yeah, but
it's not all that hard.
No, but that's
point
you
out
doing
that
it.
in the same area, we did find an assassination hat.
No, that's
true.
It's just another way of assassination. It's just a really easy way to hide the bomber.
Remember, healing device. Archaeotech healing device.
I know.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm already happy that I can make the compounds with it.
Oh boy.
But yeah, there are technically you can go on there and mix chemicals yourself, but if you program it in to make something like a poison, for example, it will tell you that it will not do it for medical, and this is really weird considering what this place is for, medical ethical reasons. It will not make poisons to inject into people. And I know it says genetic augmentation on the thing, but it's not designed for killing.
It may genetically augment people far beyond the capabilities of humans, but it has standards.
Yeah.
It's all right. We found the Maxim gun of this campaign. We'll just leave it.
What kind of gun?
I don't think it's that bad yet.
Are you talking?
We can still pick it up, can't we?
Are you talking about Maxim MG, or am I missing some context?
I'm making a reference to one of Archer's campaigns.
Yes. You found the incredibly OP item that I will not let you destroy and break.
Can we carry it though?
No, sadly not. Sadly not. It's not.
See, it is the Maxim gun.
So long as it's not made of stalinium or what the fail it was, it's all right.
Well, technically, you could rip it out of the floor and disconnect it. Like, you could move the device. It would just take you a long time to disconnect everything properly.
Yeah, that sounds right. It is a fucking medical. All right.
It's basically an auto dock. Again, another Fallout 4, Fallout reference. It's basically an auto dock.
Pretty sure Fallout ripped that from somewhere else.
Of course they did. Oh,
But yeah, there's also one in Alien as well. There's an auto dock.
from what I remember, the autodock was autodock in the original?
Not the original Fallout, I don't believe. The first.
I've seen things like autodock in some of Asimov's work. So
The first Fallout one that it's in, from what I remember, is Fallout 3. But it's also in Alien. There's an auto dock where they put people in a machine and it automatically does procedures on them. I believe they do it on Ripley at one point. I think she gets shot in the stomach and it fixes her.
I know there's one in Prometheus as well.
Yes.
be right back.
Anyway.
So yeah, there's nothing you can do for Kalindra at the moment, but there are a number of other things to poke around with. There's currently a holographic projector above the Cognite device. Yep, go ahead.
Is it in High Gothic too?
Yes.
It's all what do you call it? It's all fuck's sake.
Technically, it's Lost Terran, Dark Age of technology language.
Yeah, it would be High Gothic. It's weird, but if it does follow the proper linguistics evolution, the old Low Gothic is the new High Gothic.
Yeah. Which is really, really weird. But yeah, that's
no,
basically...
it's just how linguistics go.
So
it's funny.
The machine was saying basically reboot, initialized, and now as you look at the screen, it's currently saying UFOP facility, Coronus, there it is. Coronus Experimental Medical Genetic Augmentation Research Lab.
Fancy. Does it have locks?
No.
Does it have camera footage?
Well, currently it's just on the home. It's like the Windows home screen before you've logged in. It says the facility's name, a word that you're not quite sure what it means. Chronos. Hang on.
Probably the name of this place.
Chronos
sorry.
would be time though.
Sorry, it's not Chronos. It's C. Actually, Getty, this is a Celtic pronunciation.
Oh God.
So it's. And I'll put it in Discord. I probably said it wrong. It's Tyrannus? Tyrannus.
Hang on. Okay, Celtic myth is not a god.
Maybe.
Okay, that may be meta knowledge. Never mind.
You never know. Do you want to Do you want to activate the device?
Try you would activate the device.
No. Hang on. I want to see if there's some form of skill that could make me I want some knowledge on this thing. I have no common or fucking lore.
The metal man touches the screen.
Yeah, hang on.
Actually, I have common law, ecclesiarchy, and I have scholastic law, imperial creed. Do either of those help me right now?
Unfortunately, it wouldn't be the Imperium.
Scholastic lore, astromancy.
Nope.
Archaeotech.
Technically,
It's-
archaeotech
It's
could
probably
work.
forbidden lore. Fucking.
I could do Forbidden Lore Archaeotech.
You would get an idea that it's so if you roll it flat, I can give you a little bit of information. It wouldn't be exact. Yeah, you're not quite sure, Cray. You seem to remember it's something to do with Old Terran, but you're not sure.
I'd have Forbidden Lore, Psyker, and Warp.
No, it's got nothing to do with Psychers or the Warp.
I'm just going off the name.
The Metal Man pushes the button. The home screen goes off, and the front page, so it's like the user screen where you're meant to put in your password, but there's no password. And as you press the screen, it opens up to the home page. And on opening up the home page, a incredibly amazing high detail HD image comes up, and then you start hearing sound coming through the machine, and it says in High Gothic, "Welcome to Keranus. Welcome to Keranus, the experimental hunting and trophy world of the United Federation of Planets."
Oh, it's so fucking fitting. I love it. They're genetically modifying people to make them into the perfect hunting fucking thing.
Keranus provides all your hunting needs and provides a in-depth feel to hunt the most dangerous predators within the galaxy, only augmented to improve their ferocity, aggression, and the experience of the ultimate hunt.
I always say that I was bad with injecting C4 in someone's bloodstream.
We present to you...
This isn't.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is making suicide bombing rabbits, Albie. This is making like harder claws, sharper teeth, and everything else like that. It's like getting an elephant and making the tusks have mini tusks, which have tusks that have filled with poison.
Yes,
You're saying it might make suicide bombing bunnies?
Probably not the fucking that fail safe is probably kicking in because it's humanoid. If it was like a chicken or something, you can probably fill it with C4 no problem.
We need to get a chicken and try this out.
Go find a chicken.
Yes, find the chickens of this world. They're 100 feet tall with talons of steel.
That's fine.
Is there some kind of index of all the?
Oh no, it's a video playing. It's a video playing. It's a promotional video for tourism for this world.
As soon as you posted that fucking word, I immediately went, it was something to do with hunting. Hang on a second. Fucking processing table.
Yeah, exactly. It goes on, and you can see there's a number of lost Terran animals, and they say, like, much like the god of old that our world has been named after, we have blended man and nature. We have made predators and prey to be far more exotic and far more dangerous to create the greatest hunting experience. And you see people on, well, basically lost Terrans on hovering platforms going above jungles, going above deserts, and it's, going through all the different types of terrain that they have that you can hunt through, the different exposures to artificially created terrains. And it says our ice caps will never melt thanks to our environmental technology to ensure that we will have freezing conditions for those who wish to explore the polars, for the greatest hunting experience of the most desolate wastelands. Our forests have been genetically altered to ensure that they will never fade or die, and that they will continuously produce fauna and flora for our big game hunters to explore and to hunt. And yeah, you see like big game hunters next to huge creatures, and it's taking you through this this advertised video. It takes it's about 5-10 minutes long. Again, it's spoken in High Gothic, so there will have to be some translations done. And then as the video closes, another program opens up. As the other program opens up, it states, the facility team leader, Hagon Exus, lead developer in experimental medical genetic augmentation research lab. And it starts showing off failures and successes, genetic instabilities in some of the things that they have created. The thing that would point out to Heinrich and Abby is, now I need to find, I'm probably going to butcher the name of it. Let me see if I can find it. So it would be under the world, I believe. Where was the world? Materials, map, players. No, that's player stuff. Lights, locations. So it's using the High Gothic terminology for abhuman strains. Oh, where did I put it? I know I copied it down. So it's like shit. I can't actually remember the name for it, and I can't find my. Is it under handouts? God, where did I put it? I put under abhuman. No. Oh, I've got too many folders. Okay, so I can't find a thing. It basically says the genetic name, the imperial genetic name for abhuman, but then it goes on to different genus of abhuman, and they're all under terminology phoretic, sensitic, ethics. There's fetic species or fetic zyatic species, gamma A3, bred to be brutally strong, incredibly dumb, high threat level detected only for hunters of S rank and above. Fetic zyatic, abhuman, alpha gamma 3, scout and ambush predator, and it gives you a list of 7 or 8 different abhuman fetic species and their different roles within the hunting community. You also acquire so the Sakoon is on there. The sand tiger.
I would like to pull the data on Sakoon, if it's possible or not.
Sure, you can pull the data on the Sakoon.
Data on the Sakoon right now.
And it informs you that they are an ambush species designed for basically taking people unaware. they're made to look cute, so people don't think that they're a threat. Whereas it classifies them as, I think it's like Delta level threat. And it goes down. You now get the names for all the creatures. So the Sand Tiger is there. The Wandering Parasite is there. The Venomous Terror. It has the Venomous Terror. It would provide images, so I guess I can lay down the tokens for them. The Wandering Parasite.
Ah, that big fucker. Oh boy.
Do you mean the spider testicle?
Yeah. The spider with massive blue balls.
Can I go through all the data long enough so I can apply total recall to everything? Or are there too many species?
There are probably too many species for you to acquire everything about them, but you can get most of the data about them. It doesn't provide like weaknesses or anything like that. It just gives you what they were created from. And basically this is funnily enough, it is actually it's not an animal, it's classed as a flora. It's a plant.
Wait, what?
Is a
Actually, this is exactly what Total Recall is for.
It's a parasitic organism that infects the host through spore.
What's a plant?
This thing, the thing that's on the screen.
Oh,
That's a plant.
I mean Spider Boy.
What one is it to
Oh.
get to show the players? Is it Control L?
Control
No,
C.
Shift
C.
Z. Yeah.
Oh, Shift Z.
That's the one. Yeah, this is a
Oh,
plant.
Spider Boy.
Oh god,
Checks out.
that is terrifying.
You then get informed about the Venomous Terror, which is this thing.
Oh god, okay, that's beautiful. Yep.
That
All
was
right.
good.
And then it informs you of the avian. Oh, what?
Yep.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Can I find our avian razor wings?
Yeah, it is on there. Why isn't that one attached? Where's my monkey creature? Hang on a minute. Why is my monkey creature not attached to it? That annoys me. You should be attached. Why aren't you? I don't know. Right, we'll save that, and we'll bring it over here. I have like a thing of them all laid down. I don't know why it's not. Avian Beast. Which is a cross between a monkey and a bat. He's a nocturnal predator.
Okay.
And you have the razor wing.
Is it really that big?
Oh, the avian beast, yeah, it's man size. I took inspiration from the Wizard of Oz.
Okay, that's probably why everyone's so fucking terrified at night.
Then you also have the herd beasts that you've already seen. Both types, which are funnily enough described as docile creatures used for beginner hunters, and are more used for trophies for beginner hunters. It then informs you of a couple of other creatures, which Abby's taken aback by, as it says, psychically enhanced creatures.
What?
So do we have? So we have creatures that spout lightning out of their arse.
Possibly.
It is
Or, you know, teleporting alligators and that shit.
a zoologic mutated hellspawn. This thing.
A fucking what?
That's a beast, man.
A beast, man.
Oh no! Oh no! It's not under the abhuman tag.
It still looks like a beast, man.
This thing, it states as a triple S threat,
Yeah, no shit. It's
And
fucking
it-
psychic. It's not a trained psyker.
and it's genetic. It is genetically unstable, which is also placed under there.
Oh my god, it's going to be even more fucking terrifying now that the because when these things would have been made, the warp would have been not in turmoil
Yep.
or not settled. Jesus.
There's another one which I'll bring up in a moment. Then it has, and again, these are not classed as beastmen, but it has the bestial mutated. It's classed as an outcast of genetics. And that's this thing, which seems to be part living and part dead. As it denotes that the mutations are highly unstable, as the flesh seems to have rotted from the skull, yet it continues to live. It states under there highly recommended for further investigation as unknown reasonings for its genetic instability. And then there's the quadridate, which is this thing.
Oh boy, that's the vampire thing.
No,
This
no,
reminds
no,
me of something.
no,
No, no,
No,
no, that's
no.
not the vampire thing. Oh god.
That. No, I know what that reminds me from. Those things from D&D. The mind eaters, mind stealers, the mind flayers.
Is this
Well,
one
that's worse than a mind flayer.
Is this one psychically active? No, this one's not psychic.
I mean, it looks like a mind flayers with those tentacly out of that mouth.
Are there any psychically active things that look okay?
Maybe.
I don't think anything will look okay from the track record so
Sure,
far.
Abby looks alright, okay?
Oh no, this thing is psychic. This thing is psychic.
Abby does. But Abby is also not a beast.
Yes.
I mean, there are psychically active animals that are perfectly normal. They just do weird shit.
This is because of genetic modification, however.
and then
He's technically also that. I mean, such the psyker houses.
there's something that that is a little bit worrying as you read down further. It says unregistered experiments. Top secret, not to be released until further experimentation has been verified. Human test subjects have been used. And that would be this thing.
That looks chaos.
It implies that this creature has been this humanoid creature has been genetically manufactured using human DNA and has also been implemented with high-tech cybernetic components.
Does it have an arm, Gatling?
Yes. It does have augmentations that are weapons. There are. So we've done the abhumans. We've done the. There are a number of them that have mutated hideously since the experiment started. I will put that out there for the millennia that they've been wandering around this place. It has not been kind to them. There's another one somewhere. Now, where's the baby creature? Hang on.
Oh, no.
Let me go over to my tokens. Did I not take the baby creature, or did I use that for something else? Oh no, that one's that one, isn't it? Yes. Never mind. That's the other one. It then goes on to mutated humanoid creatures that are not psychically active. Essentially, they are just human mutants that were created for the greatest hunting experience of intelligent creatures. Because there is no greater animal to hunt other than man, of course. It would also note that there are a number of flora and fauna on the world that have also been created genetically to increase their ferocity and deadliness. However, there are no images with these ones. It just gives you a rundown of flora, species. Well, I suppose. So some of these things have basically, I've taken them from the book. For some of them, a lot of them I've created myself. But one of them that appears to have some sort of it's migrated basically. It's no longer just on this world. A corpse snare, which is a flora that feeds off of dead corpses.
I've heard of that one actually.
That one is from the 40k book, but there are 2 more that appear to have. Originally, they were designed to, and it states there that for hunting in basically in the jungles and in the forests, a number of flora were designed to impede hunters' like visual acuity, their perception of the world, to muddle their minds to make areas more dangerous for certain hunters. Someone's disappeared from Roll20. That's fine. It likes doing that.
Oh, Kitty's back.
What? It disappeared?
Oh,
Oh,
you
yeah,
lost
on
connection to
Roll20.
Roll20.
It must be for like a hot second because I'm back immediately. I don't know.
It appears as if the creatures on this world were created for big game hunting. However, in the time that they were created, technically, if any of you have got an Imperial knowledge, the corpse snare is something that Imperial savants know of. It's on other worlds. In fact, I believe it's on bloody what's the world with the guys who run around in tank tops?
Katachan?
Katachan, yes. The corpse snare is from Katachan, but this computer, this cognate, is saying that it was created on this world.
Finally, one thing from Katachan that actually, or something from the fucking universe that's trying to kill you that's not from Katachan.
Yes, it turns out they thought it was from Katachan. It wasn't. It was from this world because humans had to fuck with nature.
I mean, obviously. First question, can I eat it? Second question, can I fuck it?
Third question, how do I kill it?
No. That's the third question. The first question is, how can I use it to kill someone?
I mean, for most of these things we've seen so far, neither apply.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the good thing is that when you look at the flora, the ones noted on here, it has chemical. It has a number of chemicals written at the side, and with a little bit of poking around, you find out these are chemicals that the plants give off. A number of them are the chemicals that the machine was talking about to create its drugs.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
In particular, and I'm sorry, I didn't give them proper Latin names. I was thinking about going into it and being like, oh yes, this is Hyacinthus Gorsanius Platonus, but I could not be fucked. I looked at it and confused me. So you have small flora and large flora. They're the two that you get. The small flora seems to have a number of chemicals used for medical drugs in it, and the large flora seems to have more stimulating drugs. And it says in there that one of the advantages for hunters is if you go out and hunt these things, one of the rewards that you can get from the facility's organizers is that you will have basically custom drugs made for you to enjoy in your recreational time.
Enjoy in your own time, not on the hunt.
Not on the hunt, but
Maybe
after
on
the
the
hunt. So yeah, and this is going to take you a few hours to go through and just look at and see, and however, the creatures that are on the tokens are slightly different. So when you look at the herd beasts, which is the ones and the when you look at the herd beasts, they have a basically the tag next to it is very stable genetic coding. And because you can look at the one that Abby's got outside, they haven't changed that much. They've got larger. They've definitely got larger compared to what the Cognite is telling you how big they should be. But looks wise, they're fairly similar. Same with the razor wing. Again, genetically stable, very low chance of mutation, and from what you see on the image, very, very similar. The wandering parasite, the venomous terror, because you've seen them before close up, that's actually the earthworm thing. It didn't look like that in like the image that it shows. It's much smaller, and it basically says, whilst it is a game, a hunting, it is there for hunting. It's a scavenger and a terrain rehabilitation creature. It has been genetically manipulated for it to basically work as earthworms. It's there to keep the environments stable. So, and I can't remember what the correct terminology is. It's solely there, or it used to be solely there to maintain each biosphere. It had a 60% genetic stability. It's mutated an awful lot in the millennia past. The same with the wandering parasite. That thing was very unstable and has changed much in the times. And obviously the creatures that you haven't seen at the moment, you're going to recognize them. They're going to have similarities, but they will be different from what the computer is telling you.
Right.
What I can't even the Quadric, the psychically active creature, funnily enough, had 100% genetic stability, but it does not look like the creature that you're going to see, or that you got shown. It looks completely different. So what mutation? This hideous creature.
Right.
It has changed muchly thanks to its connection to the warp. beautiful, beautiful creatures. I think that's actually a Dead Space
Yeah, I'll
thing.
take teleporting alligators.
I could have been nice. I could have been like, I'll give you the warp wolves that I brought in my last 40k in my last Rogue Trader game. But I was like, no, I've had them once. I won't use them again. One that saved Jim's last character by teleporting him through the warp onto an Eldar vessel. Ah, glorious.
As you do.
So, how does Muttermouth react to us finding out that fetids are actually lab made?
So, funnily enough, when the High Gothic is coming through, his ears prick at some words. It seems as if certain words in Slurry tongue are High Gothic. Just very so that it's really unusual words to be spoken, and you can see him kind of like muttering the word like, "Ow, I haven't heard that in a long time." Like, it's when some like smart ass comes along with all these, takes out a thesaurus and starts saying words. You're like, what the fuck does that mean?
How's the sodium chloride?
Yes,
kind of shit.
yes.
Can you repeat that?
Sodium chloride, salt, table
Oh.
salt.
Yeah, I was understanding potassium chloride, and it's like, what kind of madman did you encounter? Because
Yes.
that's bad juju.
So,
That's nicely.
when you bring up like the fetids part, Muttermouth kind of like his ears go down, and he does that typical like when a dog sees a reflection of itself, where it's he kind of starts hunching down as if he obviously doesn't think it's another fetid, but he's kind of got that very curious, what the fuck? There's something. What? If you click on the fetid's genetic coding, you will see that they are a blend of Terran animals and humans, or human DNA.
Every furry's dream.
Technically, he's closer related to you lot than the Eldar is. So,
Oh yeah, of course he is. He's made by humans. He's not made by fucking Eldar.
So unlike on Carlos McConnell, where they made felonids, which are acceptable, here they went too far.
If no, this is actually evidence damning them to be. No matter what happens, this is literal evidence for there is no recourse for the fetids. They are literally genetic abominations, but at the same time, they're made from people. I'm a little concerned.
Man, it's not a recognized abhuman strain.
No, but you see, it might not be a recognized abhuman strain, but if these details got out about them, it's like, so, all right, this is
then they're fucked.
Yeah, no, that's a straight up like, all right, so this is created by Dark Age techno heresy.
It's technically
Actually,
not
if they are
techno-heresy.
genetically stable, they might have a chance.
Yeah, it's not techno. It's not techno heresy. Like, this would be seen as because remember, this is Dark Age of technology has created them. It's not a Xenos species that has created them. They have human DNA in them, not Xenos DNA.
So there's a chance that, psychers are technically also made. Significant amount.
That's a genetic.
Psychers are mutants, and they are an accepted mutant strain within the Imperium. The same.
Didn't the Dark Age reinforce those mutant strains?
No.
That's one of those things that's up for discussion. There's talks that the Dark Age of technology, or the fall of humanity, was brought on by overpopulation of psychers. That's one of the theories, at least.
It depends on which part of the Dark Age you're looking at. because the fall of humanity's great age was the Men of Iron. That was the great war that tore the old Federation apart. But then after that, as far as I'm so my fan theory is that when Slaanesh was born, the disruption through the warp corrupted the Men of Iron, and then the Men of Iron destroyed the Human Federation, and then after that the warp became so unstable that normal warp travel became incredibly difficult, which then led there to be more Psykers being born, and then you have like the invasion of the Enslavers, where the warp becomes so embroiled, and you have creatures coming from the warp and things.
Wasn't the Enslavers after the War in Heaven?
Not as far as I was aware. But remember, the War in Heaven is not just one engagement.
Yeah, it's a war.
Well, no. So,
Slaanesh was born after the War in Heaven, because the War in Heaven was the Necrons and the Eldar.
Yeah, but so the War in Heaven refers to the War in Heaven. So the War in Heaven is millennia long. I know it's called the War in Heaven, but it's not one battle. It's not one engagement. It's throughout the entire length of the Catan, the Old Ones, the Eldar, the Necron tier, the Necrons, the Krorks. It's that whole, like, this could be millennia long. The Old Ones and that whole period. It's just we're not really given dates to line up when all of this exactly happened. But essentially, as far as I have got it, you have the end of the War in Heaven, then you have the rise of the Eldar, of the Eldar's empire. During the rise of the Eldar's empire, you have the rise of the Great Age of Technology. That's where mankind and the Eldar made a peace negotiation. They were on, not good terms, but they were on terms of, you don't fuck with us, we won't fuck with you. And that's where the Men of Iron... Yeah, I mean, that's where the Men of Iron come along, and that's why the Krorks didn't attack. Like, the Krorks didn't even like fighting the Men of Iron, because it wasn't a good fight. It was bullshit. But then, as far as I'm aware, something happens to the Men of Iron to corrupt them. And I've put it in the birth of Slaanesh. That ripple through the warp that, again, would take thousands of years. It's not just she's born and the Earth Federation, the Men of Iron are corrupted. It takes a long time for that ripple to reach the Human Federation League, corrupting their ultimate warriors. And that's where you have the birth of the older age titans and things of that nature, where they had to downgrade the AI in order for men to pilot them rather than machine AI piloting them. And then you have the enslavers turn up after this kind of period, after the Men of Iron have fucked everything up. That's also where more Psykers are popping up, and it's the number of Psykers that are popping up that has something to do with the enslavers. I'm not 100% on it, but it seems to be only once mankind was awakened, its psychic potential was truly awakened, that the enslavers come for their good old feasts and their munchy time. And then I think they get starved out. But yes, Psykers weren't created by men, but I 100% believe that when you start having Psykers, that a male Psyker and a female Psyker would be like, yeah, we need to fuck so our children have more psychic ability. And you have that kind of what's it called? China did it with making their lanky, basketball players. Or was it North Korea? Where it's like you put two people together and you breed them together to get genetics passing through their genes.
Yeah, the kind of eugenics.
Yeah, that's the one, eugenics. You have all that shit happening. So yeah, but then again, GW have never actually 100% confirmed any of these.
They will never will.
No, they never will, because it makes more sense not to confirm it. Leave it in theory, otherwise you ruin the mystique of it.
But For me, at the very least, that kind of makes sense in the timeline of how things get fucked up and why you would have technology go from everything has an AI and mankind can just, shoo it off and go kill our enemies, to why they have to get rid of the AI so that it's not corrupted by chaos.
Yeah, I like it.
So because abhumans are never properly explained, like especially beastmen. The only small snippet that we have is for the felinids. That's only that they exist. It's not really explaining how they came to be.
It is explained that it was genetic modification and that it was voluntary.
Yeah, it's just we don't get enough detail about, when it happened, how widespread it was, if it was just one world that did it, or if it was multiple worlds. But the data that you're seeing on the Cognite would definitely make you believe that that the Fetids are just beastmen abhumans, and that their genetic structure is really stable. And the description of them, like the visual, the pictures that go with them, looks a lot like Muttermouth. It doesn't look like they've changed all that much. Perhaps Muttermouth is, when he stands up properly, he's taller. Like he's changed, his species has changed slightly in the millennia, but it doesn't look like they've de-evolved, unlike some of the other creatures. Like some of the things you've seen look like abhumans, but they are not described. They're not in the abhuman list. They're in the mutant outcast. Their genetics are really unstable, like this creature. Is it the Hellspawn? Yeah, the Hellspawn, which looks like an abhuman. The bestial outcast mutant that looks like an abhuman. They're not, at least on this Cognite, they're not classed as abhumans, and their genetics are really unstable. So, again, it's up to each of the player to determine. But if the magi of the genetics of the Adeptus Mechanicus would look at Fetids, there would be strong debate for them to be an accepted abhuman strain. Whereas these things would be abominations that would be marked as heretical.
Yeah, those, yeah.
But Muttermouth is really, confused, and, he doesn't really know what to make of it, but at the same time, you kind of get the idea that he's not learned enough to understand what he's being told. He's intelligent, just not learned enough to know.
I don't think I would go out of my way to say that he's basically a crossbreed travel machine.
Listen, Muttermouth, you're a crossbreed between a fox and a human. Oh.
Oh,
Out of character, I'd be kind of interested to ask him if his people have some kind of Genesis myth.
I mean, it would be good to ask.
If you do ask him, he won't really know. But he would say maybe, the elders of our people know. They might have more answers. He's just a hunter in his standing in the tribe. He's not a law keeper, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But when you find the Fetid tribes and the elders, make a note of it. They may have a creation story.
Well, according to this, you were created in a lab. Or your kind were.
Put a little bit more fluffy on the edges there.
How can you make that sentence any more fluffy?
I don't know how he'd respond to that, to be honest with you. How...
Yeah. I mean, it's fairly kind of fucking.
I mean, I know it's very blunt, but how would you make that any softer? Seriously?
Can you repeat that? I think I missed the important part.
What, the part where you were created in a lab?
Yeah.
Bro, you were bred in a tube.
Bro, two baby. No.
He's just like, no. Me, no. He's very confused. You're not even sure if he understands what a lab is.
I mean, we could be very crude and point to one of the glass files. That's where you were born.
Oh.
It's true, though.
It's okay. I mean, you know, we already initiated his existential crisis. We don't have to, push him further.
To push him into extreme.
Give him time.
There definitely seems to be a... You don't know if it's something that was bred into them, or if it's part of their genetic. He doesn't really understand, but he doesn't question it either. He just looks really confused and basically tells you that his mother created him. His mother and his father created him. They did the vertical nasty, and out popped a mutter mouth.
Oh boy.
Sorry, the
Abby would
horizontal...
clarify that she means his, people, his kin,
No.
race.
Let him sit in ignorance and bliss.
I mean, Gray wouldn't go out of his way to explain all this stuff to Mattermouth.
But so when you give a little bit of context to something I said earlier in the campaign, you would notice it's not nearly as hot around here as it was in the prison camp. Like the temperatures you were experiencing in the prison camp were hideously hot, yet you haven't experienced anything that hot. Not since you've left the prison camp.
Maybe something to do with the... It's just the ambient temperature. It's not like this place has...
No. So in the documents it said that this planet has been created for each biosphere to be controlled.
Yeah.
So the polar the ice caps will never melt. The forests will never die off from changing in environment.
Then
Which kind of explains why the people didn't know about seasons and instead called, a year a season.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, hang on, Craig, could you take a look at the just to see if there's a way for you to figure out where the main lab is? Because this is going to be like a live post, isn't it?
Yes.
Is there a map? Can I pull that map?
So it takes you a bit of time getting things translated and moving things around, going through the data. But it does tell you of other facilities. It tells you of... there are 6 other facilities. It will tell you... Now, unfortunately, I didn't name all of them. This one is obviously a genetic augmentation laboratory. But it appears as if there is another site for containment of specimens. And there's another 2 sites which are marked down as basically facility storage, things of that nature. There's another main facility that is the headquarters, and that tells you it is down to, well, where you are now. It is to the southeast. The another facility is to the east, and there are three more facilities that are dotted. One to the south of your location. One is in the very north. Hang on, double check. I need to look at the world map for this. So there's the one here, which is, it's not center, but there's one here. There's one to the yeah, it's basically southeast. One to the south. Sorry, yeah, one to the south. One to the east. One to the far north. And one to the never eat breaded wheat. So it'd be southwest. So at the best guess that you can put it, there's one here. There's one in the North Pole. There's one over to the southeast. Well, east south. Bit hard to tell. To exactly southeast kind of area. One to the south, one to the east, and one which you can only guess would be like the Great Plains by what everyone's been describing to you. Fuck it. I'll be nice. I'll be nice for once. The Mechanicus are sat on a facility. The Ecclesiarchy are sat on a facility. The Great Sky Chariot landed on a facility. Where the Nobles are is on a facility, and the Screaming Valleys is in a facility.
Oh, of course, the Screaming Valley is the fucking creature storage, isn't it?
Baby.
Hang
on. I'll bring you over to the map so I can I'll give you a better right.
I mean, it gives us a look at like where they are, right? So
yeah, it's not an exact. It's not an exact location. Actually, it would have a map. Actually, why wouldn't it have a map?
It would have a map.
Yeah, no, it would. It would have a map of the world. Because why wouldn't it? I don't see why it wouldn't. So yeah, you do actually have a map of the world now. Come to think of it, don't know why that.
Craig,
I don't know why that blanked from my mind. That yes, this place would have a map, wouldn't it?
Can I combine the map with the coordinates I locked with my thingy magic?
So your thingy tells you which way is north, south, and so you'd be able to figure that out.
My locator matrix. I would basically want to map my locator matrix on this world.
So from where you are now, there's one somewhere around in the north. They're not exact. It's not pinpointed. So you're not going to get it's in this location exactly. But there's one in the north here. There's one over in this direction. There's one in this direction. Hang on, I need to move. There's one over in this direction, and there's one right down in the plains area over here. Yeah, and that's the 6 facilities basically, including the one that you're at.
Okay.
It would it give this one? Probably wouldn't give. This one probably wouldn't give the like what each facility does. It would tell you where the areas of the facility are. It would. The thing is, it would tell you like things that are in this area, but they're no longer there. Like so, let's say for one area would actually be like where the starport was, where every hunter comes down to the world, they come to an area where they're like, okay, greetings and salutations. This is our world. This is our hunting world. This is where, you know, you get supplied, where you get this, that, and the other. I'll give you where that one is. It's down here somewhere. It's basically where you were told that the nobles live. Go figure.
Oh god, okay.
You would be in, like, there would be, so one of them is a armory. So basically planetary defense armory for this world in case there are, you know, this world would have had a security team. So one of them is for the world's security team. You would imagine you might find archaeotech weapons there.
So the armory is one of those facilities.
Yeah, one of them.
Okay.
Like in the video that you saw them in the Great Plains. You saw like basically the visitors center where you saw individuals coming and they're getting equipped with all of this stuff and they're going on these hover platforms that hover over the Great Plains. For those hunters who don't, you know, they just want to be assholes and float above all the creatures and shoot them. You know, like that Roman leader who killed like 300 lions by shooting arrows from a from a raised platform.
Can't get me, bitch.
Completely assholish thing to do, but yeah, you could see on the little video that's what they're doing. They're just flying around.
Which has to be the most boring afternoon ever. Sitting there and watching that guy.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Good point.
Oh, I bet the first like 3 or 4 lions, people were cheering and like, yeah, this is amazing. After like the 50th, they're like, hang on a minute. He's literally just stood on a fucking pole shooting lions. What the fuck? We not chuck some Christians in
Yeah, at
there?
the end there's like 3 people sitting there still, and one is them, it's like, woo.
They're just watching these lions quivering in fear, just like, what do we do? What do we do?
Fuck you,
was it
lions.
Nero? I think it was Nero who did that. I can't quite remember.
I just don't remember.
I know there was a Roman ruler who did that because he was an asshole. But yeah, you have...
I mean, for a PR stunt, it sounds amazing.
Reality.
Stood atop the podium and killed 300 lions with naught but a bow. Yes, awesome. Then you see it in action, you're like, yeah, that looks fucking boring, my dude.
If you were running around with the lions chasing you, it would have been cooler, but you're obviously so meh. You would also, so there would be other information on the Cognite, saying that most of their facilities are underground to not break the immersion of the hunt. So you don't see like great skyscrapers built up, or there's no big hive, there's no big industrial sectors on this world, as it's all underground to keep the immersion of you're in the wilds to go hunting. But what would this facility... I think that's about everything. It wouldn't, like, some of the data is corrupted in a very long time. The world has changed a little bit at the very least. Like, buildings don't last forever. But you have rough ideas of where everything is. There's a couple of big information bits, but I don't really think I want to drop them because I don't think this computer would hold such information. Well, or would it? So I tell you what, Ray, give me a security flat, as there would be some files that are restricted. You'll only get 3 attempts before you're locked out of trying to access them. If you have security, you can roll it.
Can I use intelligence instead?
No, it would very specifically be security because you're breaking an encryption.
Yeah, but security is agility. In the sheet.
It?
Yep.
That seems weird. Oh, I guess I'm going. I guess I'm going off of Dark Heresy, where you can have agility or where you can change the things.
Well, security is more like picking a lock, that kind of stuff, like physical things.
I mean, I can do.
Okay, do security, but with intelligence. So if you've just got it as a basic, then just roll your intelligence
I
with
have
it.
it trained.
Can't train, so that's alright. So, yeah.
Train means it's flat.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. So you find these restricted files, and you're like, motherfucker, I will have your secrets. You start doing the typical hacker thing where you're trying to.
Time to unleash some bombers.
Yeah, it's that typical 80s hacking fucking montage that's going on. Every now and then, there's a bit of sweat that runs down Cray's brow as he's trying to do this fucking weird shit.
I don't think I still have brows.
A little bit of skin somewhere. There's a sweat that dribbles down. It takes you a little while. It takes you a little while to break through the encoding and figure out what it is. But you've got enough to go on. You're like, well, okay, let's do this and try that, and you managed to open up the file. The file states that there is a military weapons cache that was placed here on World. The weapons cache is designated as Titanic weapon cache.
Ooh.
What?
Titanic weapon cache.
Oh yes. Cray, can you find that for me, please? Can you get the location for that?
Okay, would very much like to find the.
Cray,
location.
you know you're part of my retinue, right? We're good friends. We're you're
What's
part of my crew, correct?
what's
Yes?
the Imperium's policy on rogue traders and acquiring titans?
I call dibs.
Well, rogue traders generally operate outside of the Imperium, so they pretty much, are free to do whatever they want.
They are legal pirates, basically privateers.
But technically, sorry to burst your bubble, it is Mechanicus law that no rogue trader can own Titans.
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to own the Titan. I'm looking to sell it back to the fucking Mechanicus.
I wanted to borrow it.
Definitely. Technically, the Mechanicus take sole ownership of every single Titan. However, there are Titan legios that
This
can
might not
follow
be
rogue
as...
traders. There's nothing
Oh, yeah,
against
you can
Titans following.
You can earn the respect of a Titan Legion and such, but this is like, it's not as extreme as finding an intact STC, but the reward is going to be up there. Finding an STC gets reward everyone who founded planets. You are paid in planetary governance-ship. Imagine what you're going to get paid for a Titan, if not just Titan weaponry.
That said, if we are outside of the Imperium, then there is no Imperial law here. So, whoever has the bigger gun kind of owns these.
Well, oh no, I need to get back to the camp and hold my writ. I need my writ.
It's essentially the Adeptus Mechanicus are the only ones who can get them operational and maintain them. However, with 5 degrees of success, I will give you, you find the location of the facility. It is
Oh my god.
this direction.
What do I need to roll?
No, you've already broken the security code. It's in
Is it
this
separate?
direction.
Hang on, is it a separate location or is it part of
well,
the 6 facilities?
Technically, I'll put it on where the circle is. It's this one. Although it's not this. So I'll tell you, on my map, it's marked. You have not marked the exact location. You will need to search. But yes, there is apparently
that's why it's a big circle. Actually, make it bigger.
There is apparently a secured facility in that region that housed Titanic weapon classification stuff. Also, as you dig deeper into it, I'll give you a bit of other lore. You're not going to find this out otherwise. The world is shielded.
Yep. No, I found that out already.
We figured that out.
The world has a planet-wide warp distortion field. It is specifically designed to protect the world from warp instabilities. However, when you look at the data and you, what the warp instabilities? Warp. It appears to be some sort of. It's based off of a Geller field and a warp. What do Titans have? What are the void shield is? But it's designed off of a warp, off of a void shield technology, but it's being adjusted to phase out warp fuckery, basically, for warp instabilities and warp. With the information, if you are reading it out aloud, and if you're like, well, no, actually, Abby and Heinrich have to read this for you. So Abby's like, hang on a minute. Wouldn't that stop me from sending messages? And yes, that's why you can't send messages off this world.
So that's why I don't hear anyone. Okay.
Yes. That's why at night there's this weird flickering of stars going in and out and all this weirdness. It appears to be solely to prevent fuckery from the warp. Ray, you've never heard of a void shield designed for this purpose? In fact, a void shield that covers a planet is almost unheard of. Whilst there are Archaeotech void shields that can cover a large part of a world, or you could have multiple hive worlds with void shields that would give a large amount of coverage. The power needed to cover an entire world is unfathomable. But apparently this world has something very much of that nature. The Mechanicus would be very, very much interested in this world. You know the Mechanicus is here. You're wondering why they haven't informed other people yet. Like, I like this world. This world is a world that I could just fuck with and do all sorts of weird shit. It's beautiful.
So, we're getting a hold of that Rogue Trader monument. We're recoding it to my dynasty. And we're calling dibs, correct? And we're going to share the spoils. So long as you're part of my crew, correct?
I mean,
I have a big smile on my face. I'm looking at you all. Correct?
Yes. We could also miscount a Titan. But we would first need to crew it. It needs a couple thousand of men.
We will need to turn that shield off so I can send messages
Yes.
if we
Or at
want
least
to.
to get it in orbit. If that shield has,
Or that, yes.
if the shield is any, it is a protective shield, and if our captors or anything to go by, that is traitorous Astartes. We could turn the weapons on them.
Great. You would also note as you're looking at the data for it, for the shield, or what data there is there. You pretty sure this would do absolute havoc to a plasma reactor or a spacecraft. Like, it would really fuck. Like, trying to fly a ship down here would be fucking terrifying, as it looks as if the it would affect the power systems.
How the hell did we get here?
You had a harrowing journey as the ship was rocked and buffeted and...
Okay.
Yeah, so you technically you wouldn't have known this, but the ship that brought you down here, like, you were captured by Astartes.
Yeah.
The ship that came down here, and this is a spoiler, but it was piloted by an Astartes. It wasn't a human who piloted the ship down here.
Okay.
So yeah, it takes superhuman levels of concentration to be able to fly the ship down here. However, from what you've seen from the video and from everything, there are vehicles that fly around here. You've seen it in the videos, so there's clearly an archaeotech device that gets rid of this, that makes it so that you can fly, or it's an archaeotech plasma reactor that is not affected.
Something tells me when we're finishing up here, I'm going to have a ship to rival my mother's. Oh well. In the meantime, I'm looking forward to finding all this shit.
So I'm going to chuck out there quickly. Is there anything you guys want to have a little chat about? Or have we reached a lore dump part where you're like, right, we need time to take this all in and sample the goodness? Because it is 9:30 now. Probably about time for us to...
It is quite time.
We should probably see what we'll do next time.
I need time to digest most of this, but is there anything else we really need to discuss?
Not really.
I'll take that as a no for now. So in the next episode, our degenerate will awaken and can be part of the next move forwards. Hopefully the degenerate will awaken. Damn you, Jim, you'd best awaken. So for now, with this massive lore dump, you now have access to a proper surgical facility. All you need to do is feed it some goodies. And then, yes, combat stims, other drugs, healing things will be made available to you all. There's a lot of things to think about and a lot of goodies to... Which way do you go now? Where do you bother with the fetits in the north, or do you go to the areas to the... so many decisions. Is it worth keeping the herd beast around and breaking its will better so it can mush you to these places faster? All will be discussed in the next episode. So, I certainly hope you've enjoyed this episode and are looking forward to the future episodes to come, where we could have titans, flying machines, hoverboards, you name it, it is all there for the taking. The team just needs to get there and find it. And of course, kill whoever has possession of it at the moment. All good things that are coming to you in the next week. So, thank you all so much for watching, liking, commenting and subscribing. It makes my heart jump with joy when I see you good motherfuckers out there enjoying this shit. When I have everyone's audio running, of course. So,
Hey. Are we still running audio, by the way? Did you double check?
Yes. I have been triple checking. Oh, that was terrible last week. That was terrible. But anyway, improvements this week. Improvements this week. So yes, thank you all so much. Take care, everyone. And as always, bye-bye for now.
Bye.
See ya.